Sean, the first thing with the announcement of Leslie Frazier leaving the staff, the timing of it, how much of a challenge does that pose to you to deal with it now?
Yeah, it is a little bit of a challenge in a different way because the timing of it is a little bit later than normal in terms of coaches coming and going. More and more coaches every year, around the NFL, I think, are moving more so than before because of how contracts and how the structure of the hiring practices is in the NFL currently. But I just think overall, we'll find our way. Leslie's been a great coach for us, and he's done a real nice job over the last 6 years with us.
When something like this happens as suddenly as it did, it raises the speculation that perhaps this wasn't his call or that there was something else going on in the background. Can you just kind of clear up the detail of it?
Yeah, no, you go through the season and the season ends. It's a long season every year, and it's a grind, right? And so everyone takes their time to reflect and evaluate their own situation. And then in this case, Leslie decided to take a year off.
As you look at replacing him, or at least replacing that role, how are you viewing it right now? And are you looking at some internal candidates? You brought aboard Al Holcomb as a senior defensive assistant. You have some coaches on your staff. How are you looking at filling the void?
Yeah, we'll just take it one day at a time, Vic. It's not something we're going to rush. It obviously is recent news with Leslie taking the year off. So I'm fortunate that in this case my background is on the defensive side of the ball. That said, I feel confident that we have good qualified candidates in-house. But if we need to go outside, we'll look there too. So nothing's off the table at this point. We'll just take it one day at a time.
As you look at the way the season ended and the disappointment of that, and it raised a lot of questions that the team that generated so many high expectations has a lot of fixing to do. So how important is this offseason, and especially I guess this draft, given your cap situation, to trying to address what seems to be multiple areas on both sides that you want to get you over the top?
Yeah. Well, it's an important off-season like it is any off-season. No matter what situation we're in, cap-wise, what have you, we're tasked with putting another good football team out there next season. And that's what we're hard at work at in Buffalo right now, whether it's at the draft, free agency, having a good feel for our current roster and the guys that are on our roster that exist in there. And so a lot of good, though, too. I mean, we won 13 games and third straight AFC East title, and that's hard to do. So, but again, much work remains.
And in terms of this roster, part of this work, especially for Brandon Beane, is addressing some free agents, key free agents, Tremaine Edmonds, Jordan Poyer, who have been key fixtures to this defense. How do you approach that as a coach mentally, just pondering the idea that you may only have one or possibly neither of those players?
Yeah, they're both really good players. They've been with us for a number of years, and this part of the job is one of the harder parts of the job in terms of people in, people out, and at the end of the day, sometimes what becomes business decisions that are made on both sides. So, I always hope for the best, and we'll see where it goes as we move forward here.
And your involvement with this process at the Combine, kind of explain that, because obviously your personnel staff, Brandon Beane and his crew, have been working the evaluation thing for a long time, through the whole college season. As coaches, you kind of get involved with it at this stage. How is that involvement in terms of the way you incorporate yourself? How does that work?
Yeah, so Brandon leads us in that effort, and then he'll task me with getting more involved in free agency, which I'm already involved with that to this point. And then as usually for the draft, getting here at the Combine is my real first introduction to the draft, and then it ramps up from here.
And you have been bestowed a great honor, induction into the William and Mary Athletics Hall of Fame. Congratulations on that. And March 10th is going to be the induction ceremony. But what does being recognized in that way by your alma mater mean?
Yeah, it's a tremendous honor, and thank you very much for that, Vic. But it's a tremendous honor, and especially knowing that it wasn't just a football school. It was a school that stresses academics as well as athletics, and the friendships, the support I had when I was at William & Mary that helped me then and also now, I'll carry with me the rest of my life.
Excellent. Again, congrats, and thank you.
Thank you, Vic.